I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I think we're waiting on a couple more students, or did they all make it?
Just one more, he's in traffic.
Okay, we'll go ahead and wait a few minutes and jump to a couple of other items and wait on the other student. And you guys can take it out on them for having to stay here a little bit longer tomorrow in class. We have a correction, addition to the agenda. We're going to add 3.2, addition to the high school division personnel report. Do I have a motion and a second for that addition to the agenda?
I'll make a motion we approve.
Do we have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes for the addition. Skipping down then to 3, approval of the consent agenda, and that will then include our addition to the high school division personnel report. And I believe that was actually online today. If people need to see it, do we want to pull it up just so people can see it, since that's pretty new?
It's, the addition is our summer mowing crew, so that includes our current instructor plus our current instructional assistant and then a student. And we usually hire 2 to 3 people to do that each summer. So we wanted to get that before the board before summer tonight.
All right, so approval of the consent agenda, which includes the financial reports and claims, personnel recommendation, and then minutes for approval.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, we're good to go there. Jumping to, and I guess just a comment on that. Kudos for finding the replacement for, it looked like we had a person leave and you replaced them already in Diesel, is that right?
Yes, indeed.
So,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, which it's not an easy program to find somebody.
Yeah.
So we were
No,
very
when I
fortunate.
saw the
Yeah.
resignation, I thought, darn it.
Yeah.
And then you replace it. So great job on the team effort there. Items of action, handed over to you, 4.1.
Yeah. So actually, Mike Caranta will talk about 4.1 and 4.2.
So for the past few months, we've had a teacher evaluation committee that reviewed our current program, and really this year, the team has decided to do kind of an entire revamp. So it was traditionally called the teacher evaluation program. We're now moving towards the teacher professional growth and evaluation program. This program focuses primarily on teacher growth rather than just check boxes and evaluation. So we use the work of Robert Marzano in the art and science of teaching and kind of his philosophy on teacher evaluations, and we broke it down into 6 domains. Goals in progress, instructional strategies, engagement strategies, classroom management and building relationships, professionalism, and then those career and technical education specific things. So with this plan, it focuses less on observation and more on professional growth and conferencing with teachers. As administrators and as evaluators, we walk around all the time. We see what's going on in classrooms. We kind of have a vibe for that, and it really is kind of unfair to judge a teacher in just 40 minutes twice a semester. So we're taking still observation into account, but it's more of professional growth plans individually with teachers where they'll come up with 3 particular goals, and then we work with teachers on those goals throughout the school year. So we took this plan. There was a team of about 6 of us made up of teachers, admin, and support staff. We kind of built that together, and then we took it to the teachers for feedback. They had a couple of weeks to dissect that, made some minor changes, and then we took it to the faculty meeting on Monday for a teacher vote, and 93% of teachers voted in favor of that. So now we're here today asking for your approval on this growth plan. I will show you one more thing. We kind of broke it down into tiers as well. So new teachers in their first 3 years, every teacher is required to have a professional growth plan. But then for observations, new teachers would be observed 2 times every year, which is what we have now. If in year 2 they come out needs improvement, they'd have more observations, 4 per year. You'd conference quarterly with those new teachers. They'd be required to go through coaching sessions with our innovation coach and possibly work with our curriculum and instruction specialist. And then obviously an improvement plan would be needed if they rated needs improvement. For those established teachers, like I mentioned, it focuses less on observations, so you would really only need 1 formal observation every 3 years. Not to say you're not observing as an evaluator, it's just not you're not going through the whole formal process, but once every 3 years. But that's where the emphasis comes on the professional growth plan. You're conferencing regularly, and then coaching sessions would be offered if they ranked needs improvement. Any teacher who rates needs improvement would then fall into that probationary tier where you're still doing the growth plan, more observations to check in on classroom progress, more conferences, and a required coaching session.
So would the teacher's evaluation score be the same for those 3 years if they're established?
Assuming that their professional growth plan, they're checking all those boxes
Okay.
and meeting those standards as part of the professional growth plan. We do have an appendix at the back that kind of rates or goes through that process. So the professional growth plan process, teachers would self-assess, go through the rubric and ask, what do I typically do to, and then look at the particular indicator. 1.1, for example, is clarify learning goals and objectives. As they're going through and self-assessing, if they realize, hey, I really don't do a lot in that area, or I really need some more professional development in that area, that's where you could identify a focus area, and then start going through those reflection questions. Then clarify those actions and learning for those indicators. What specifically would you do? Would you focus on professional reading? Would you go to professional development workshops? Do you go and observe other colleagues? Do you work with the instructional coach? And then you build from there. And then 3 SMART goals are created. And then ultimately they would put that in our evaluation system. And the evaluator would work closely with the teacher on those 3 goals over the school year. So to answer your question, as long as they're going through that process and they're growing, then they would continue with that rating.
Seems like the feedback was really positive. I know a scenario where maybe they didn't get the grade they expected or the score they expected, and the next opportunity is 3 years from now, or something like that.
I'm glad, yes,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it that way, because they do still have the option to say, I'd really love you to come in and do an observation.
Okay, that's great.
That
Okay.
is totally that's always an option for teachers.
Awesome.
It's just the formal requirement would be just once every 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
So I thought somewhere, maybe closer to the beginning, it said that if they were rated highly effective, then that would last for 2 years, but now you're saying that should be 3?
Because you get 1 year of an observation,
Uh-huh.
and then it would carry 2 years over
Okay.
until you're to your 3rd year for the next observation.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Is this drastically different from what's been doing?
Right now, we pretty much have the RISE rubric, which we've modified a little bit for CTE, and that's really all the evaluation is based on. There's some other check boxes that teachers meet, but it's 2 40-minute observations in a school year, and that's a lot of the scores
We
based
went
on.
away from it too.
So this gives us more time to conference and really discuss what's going on and focus on growth. That's really our goal.
And am I to assume that if something dramatically changed on behalf of either good or negative, that it could change within that 3 years. I mean, typically that doesn't happen, but, I mean, if somebody just had something happen and their behavior got extremely better or negative, you could change from exceeds or positive to needs improvement.
Yes.
Um,
So, we do have the rubric here. So this rubric is still used throughout those conferences, and each teacher will get a rating every year as required by the
Okay.
state.
yeah,
So if there is an area where we're noticing a decline,
right,
that would be noted here in the evaluation
Okay.
component. Or we see
Yeah.
some real growth in a certain
right,
area.
right,
That
okay.
would be reflected here. And we do have, I know it's a lot, so I apologize for my searching.
Oh, I think you're doing fabulous.
So here's where it really breaks down how you would
Right,
rate out.
right,
So to be highly effective, most indicators within the domain have been implemented and are observed,
right,
and most are at the highly effective level.
I assume there were some teachers as part of the committee to make this change.
Yes.
That's always good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had 3 teachers, 1 support, and 2 admin. And we do have different rubrics for our special education coordinators, and then also for our innovation coach and integration specialists. So it's still the same framework, it's just they're obviously doing different work, so it wasn't fair to do the same indicators.
And then if you have anybody that's on, like an improvement plan right now, how, like, will they just automatically transition to being ineffective or whatever on this new? I mean, they already have a plan in place, do you not have to adhere to that plan, or what's the process?
So we have our current tool that we'll finish the year with, and however they're rated out this year is where they'll go next year. If anybody does have an improvement plan, that improvement plan is almost like an additional component to the evaluation. Like, there'll be specific things that they have to meet, and they have 90 days to make those improvements. And that's spelled out at the beginning of the plan for teachers, or anybody who falls in that category.
I appreciate the thoroughness and coming and explaining it, because, I mean, this is clearly a lot, and you've done a really nice job of
Thanks.
explaining it and including staff. So, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the teacher professional growth and evaluation program?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. All right, go forth, do good.
Thank you very much.
All right, is that your final and best student?
Yes.
All right. If we want to go ahead and switch to the showcase to get these young people
Sure.
in motion, that would be great.
Do you want us to kind of stand around?
Or do you want to do an introduction first and then
Yeah,
we'll?
okay.
I'm Mrs. Bell from Project Leadway Biomedical Science. So my class, most people want to go into the healthcare field somehow. These 4 are going into the healthcare field. 3 of them are seniors and 1 is a junior. So they have bright futures ahead of them. They've worked very hard this year. We have this new anatomosh table, and we've had the opportunity to go to 2 different competitions. One was in Fort Wayne, and it was a regional competition, and they missed the top 4 by 1 second. So I knew that we needed another chance, so we went to Hostess State Leadership, and they got first out of 96 teams.
Whoa.
So they brought home medals. They qualified for nationals, which is in California at the end of this month. Yeah, last year we did the competitions, we just did the regional, we didn't go as far, but it was our first year doing it, and then this year, these guys, especially this one right here, I have to pull them away from the table. They do their work and then they run to the table to practice, so they've been working really hard. But this is another thing that we do to learn the anatomy. This is Nins, he built this, it's got all the organs, the different muscles, the brain, all that kind of stuff. So learning in our class has a lot of hands-on activities, not just the paper stuff. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and what school they go to and show you what they can do.
I'm Nick. I'm from Greenwood High School.
I'm Zaid, I'm from Center Grove High School.
I'm Jenny, and I'm also from Greenwood High School.
I'm Vin. I'm from third.
All right.
So, now we want to move on now?
Yeah.
I can just circle around the table real quick.
Parents too, if you wanna come up.
They brought their parents with them so they can see as well. Yeah.
So this is one of our cadavers we use. Her name's Vicky, and we use her cadaver at all the judgments. So down in California, it'll be the same exact body. And then we try to research through all of everything, all the different kind of systems that the human body has, and then we also quiz ourselves with the tournament-like form. Basically, we can make our own quizzes, which is really nice, so we can single out different systems and study that specific system. What our goal is, our goals for the tournament, is a lot to memorize the whole thing. We've kind of divided up everything between ourselves. So like one person's doing muscle, Nick's doing landmarks. I'm doing all the vessels and arteries and stuff. Min is doing the nervous system.
So this is an example of what one of the quizzes for one of like the tournament rounds is supposed to look like. So as you can see, we have the questions here, the actual structures, your point total, and then the timer up there. So if you were to start on this, you would be able to move it around. You're able to reset the positions in multiple different ways, flip it around, and also cut along different axes. And then if you were to get a question right, bring on nerve guy, you want to get this? So it would pop up with an extra 10 points, and then if you were to get one wrong, let's say I click on the skiatic, it would put it down by one. And then it goes through like this. Typically, you have about a minute per 5 questions. And then at the end, it'll show you you're correct, you're incorrect, and then just like the percentage and the time it took. And it will also tell you what you put in for the question, as well as what the question itself was. So, and then for like a non-tournament test that we would use more in the classroom, so
That's
this,
the one I did this morning.
yeah.
My first years actually did this clinical exam this morning on this table.
So it would usually be more of a, oh wait, we have to set it back up. So you're able to, in the actual quiz menu itself, along with picking new quizzes and everything, you're also able to set it up so that you can see a score or not. You can also change it to be timed by question, randomized, pull from a single pool. So like if we wanted only 5 questions, we could take, oh yeah, we could go there and just say we want 5 questions from the pool. But then there's usually not a time limit on these quizzes as much, and you don't get to see the score, so you can't just see whether or not you got it right off the bat to judge further answers off of. So if you were to get one right, it would just be the same. And as you can see, this only has 5 questions total. So then, this one can be of the stuff.
You want it?
So I seen up here a while ago when you were doing like the practice test, the time.
Yeah.
So does each section, does it have, some have more time or less time? Or as you get further in the competition, do you get less time to, I mean, how do you
Do they
weed each
change
other
it
out?
up?
How do they?
Yeah, they usually give us those, like, 1 minute per 5 questions,
Okay.
starting at usually around like 20 to 25 questions at 4 to 5 minutes. And then it just goes up 1 minute and 5 questions every round.
Okay.
And then,
They also ask harder questions with each round
Yeah,
they go.
well, yeah,
They don't
figured
just
that,
have
yeah.
them like, where's the stomach? They actually
Yeah.
say, which organ secretes insulin? And they have to be able to know that that's the pancreas, and they have to be able to pick it.
yeah, so another good feature of this is that if you were to want to get more details about a muscle, let's take the pectoralis major here. You could get rid of all of these other systems and just focus out on the pectoralis major, as well as seeing the origin, insertion, blood supply, innervation, and action of the muscle. So it would show you that the nerve that innervates this is the medial pectoral and lateral pectoral nerve, as well as showing the functions and the origin and insertion. Another good way that you can go about it is if we were to just try to remove all of these and then just put it back. You could also click on the bones, and that will also show you the origins and insertions. So as you can see, we'll see right where it connects to the bone, and right where that is, there's a very small blue line. Everyone can see that.
No, I was just, interesting, this is cool.
It's a long way from pictures in a book.
Yeah, I mean,
When you do this competition, do they have a table just like this at the competition, or do you bring your own, or? what kind of stuff?
It's usually something like this, except it's usually a little bit bigger to accommodate for multiple people being around it.
Do these like different software and interfaces, or?
No,
like,
it's
they're the
all
same?
the,
Okay.
all the software is the same.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, as well as with the bones, you can also look at the landmarks. So if you wanted to find like where the surgical versus the anatomical neck of the humerus is, you could see the difference between the two. As you can see, this is the neck that's defined by just where the bone sits and how it would like split apart, and then this is what people use for like the surgeries and operations that the bone will undergo, as well as some of them, like this being the insertion for another muscle, being the deltoid in this case.
Nick, does it still have a feature where you can push on the muscle and push the play button and it'll do the motion?
Let me see.
The table just got updated to the newest
So you can
Software.
software. Yeah.
download new
So
software.
we used to only have 6 cadavers, and now we have 8.
through the same table.
Yeah, and one of them is really not a cadaver, it's a healthy person, so it's computer. I mean, it looks like that, but it's all healthy tissues and everything, whereas Vicky here has cancer, and you can see that in her stomach.
Okay. So you have other machines like, how many other machines like this do you have? Okay.
If we look,
Dare I ask the cost?
Well, these were about $65,000 each. I don't know if they're the same today, but they're each a few years old.
yeah, if we look here, you can see she actually used to not have a stomach in the 11th version of the table, but they put it back in the 12th. So you can see here where it is and just like how it would look like given that she had gastric cancer, as well as the very back, the duodenum. You can also load different cadavers, but that does usually take a while to like compile all the movement and everything and all the physics of it. So, but you can choose what you want as far as like who you're seeing.
So you guys have to trust each other pretty well, knowing that you're specialists in different areas of the body, so.
Yeah.
It's most definitely a team effort.
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah.
So when you guys are up there, even though you have your specialty, can anybody answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like the brain game, or,
Yeah.
you all have your area, but.
Can you phone a friend?
I mean, you can look out in the crowd and see if someone can mouth you something.
They might mouth you the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Be careful of that.
Who's all involved, who's around you all whenever you're doing the competition? How does it set up in the
Well,
competition?
the past two has just been people,
Yeah.
Judges.
not like right up against them, but.
Oh.
Tournament coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your specialty?
I don't know, I kind of study a little bit of everything. I don't like to focus on one thing.
Yeah, so in the competition though, what is do you
Do
have,
you have an area that's your specialty?
you're focusing on? No? You're gonna fill in the gaps? Uh-huh. And you are
I'm the bony landmarks, like
bony
the
landmarks?
colored bits on
Okay.
the bones.
Uh-huh, and your nerves, and you are
Veins and arteries.
veins and arteries?
Everything else is pretty much going to be like general knowledge,
Uh-huh.
just that we all study for like surface level stuff.
Uh-huh,
Because even though pointing some of that out, she has a pretty good knowledge of some of the way that stuff works. Like
Right.
when they ask about, what's that one for the
The
pancreas?
physiology.
She's going to be able to
Right.
get some of that physiology.
yeah.
So as far as the competition, so you're in a room with 4 of these tables or whatever?
I think the last nationals that we saw, it was 2 tables, like on opposing sides of the room.
So does a question pop up on the screen and,
Or is it on
The
here?
setup's
It's
kind of
just
like
pretty much like
how
the
we have
test
it
we
here.
just showed.
okay.
So it's on here.
It's on there, but they also have a connected
Yeah, they have
to
big
TV.
screens so the
So
audience can see what we're
So
doing.
the
Oh.
test is moving along through this
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're answering, you don't have people yelling out answers
No.
and that kind of
And
thing.
it's a true tournament, so it's you against another team,
Yeah.
and whoever wins moves on.
Is it, so within a time frame?
So it goes by who got the most right and the time. So like the one that they missed by 1 second, they both had the same score, but their time was 1 second less. So they didn't get a move on.
Mm.
That's
But now
automatically
you won
done
in the
through
whole
there.
state. So
Right.
You got redemption.
And the team that beat him was from Ohio, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope.
Do you have access to a version of this to study like independently at home, or like?
She does.
Okay.
She has
Not-
KenHub.
Not from
I
the
mean, it's pretty
anatomy
good, though.
specifically, but I have a
You
program.
can purchase,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Software.
software
So
for
to
you
go
be
on
able to say, kids, you're
iPad.
gonna do this at home, and they can pull up certain things. at home.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really cool.
the table for the most part is just a very large specialized PC. Like if we were to quit this out,
Yeah.
you'd see it's just
Right.
running on Windows 11 and everything.
So what, like, with this class, will you come out with any kind of certification or
CNA,
like anything like that?
It's a great question.
Like,
I know in our class we do
to
like,
take college?
yeah, we
or-
don't have like many certifications. There are some optional things like we can be CPR certified through this class just because we have like a day or two where we go through all the procedures and actually have to take a CPR certification test. But there's nothing specifically that this class does like grant us as far as certifications go.
So it doesn't give you credits or anything towards
We
college
do get
classes?
credits, yes. We have dual credit through, who are we dual credit through now?
Well, it used to be through IUI, but they have cut their leadership with their partnership with Project Leadway, unfortunately. But there's a school in Missouri, Central Missouri, that will give them credits, and they don't have to go there. They can just transfer those credits out. And then there's a school in New York that will also give them credits as well.
So if they wanted to go into nursing,
Correct.
those credits can go there, or CNA.
So what is?
They give biology
So what do you,
Okay.
what's your career pathways? Do you have thoughts on what you want to do?
I'm going to be going to Ball State for biochemistry for 4 years and then enrolling in a medical laboratory science certification for a year and then move on to just being a hospital medical laboratory scientist.
And I'm gonna do Surge Tech for 4 years, 4 years of college, and then after the 4 years, I plan on doing the gastroenterologist.
Neuroscience.
And I want to be a diagnostic medical sonographer or respiratory therapist.
A very
Wow.
big career for all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good information and get you started.
This would give them an advantage when they go for their first anatomy class.
Yeah.
Because if you
Oh, I
haven't
bet
done
you.
this,
Yeah.
this, and you have to have these kids have to have an A
Yeah.
in every anatomy class they take, or they're not gonna get even looked at for a program in Indiana. So this is a huge advantage.
Also tell them if they like it. My daughter was biochem and then did pre-med and hated it, so. Although she does research, so. It pays the bills well.
My wife went through medical school.
Yeah.
She was still on the cusp, as you can see my age.
Yeah,
She was still on the cusp where they were still saying you should be a nurse, you know.
yeah.
She let that guy know what she wanted. But it was all bookworm still, you know, and pictures.
Yeah.
Because
I
we
remember
didn't have
coloring,
computers back
all
then.
those coloring
Oh,
books, trying to
yeah.
remember
Oh,
all
yeah.
those veins
Yeah.
and
Well,
all that stuff.
Brianna still
Back in
did.
the day.
Yeah, she's young.
She would've
She
loved
still
this.
did a lot of coloring.
Another really great feature, actually, now that I'm
A lot of
remembering,
coloring.
is you can select the complexity that you want to study. So like if you just want to go to the nervous system, here let's color it so it's easier to see. If you want to go here and you wanted to see exactly what nerves go where, you could have the complexity level at 3 here, and you'll be able to see down to some rather small ones, like pretty much every plexus is here. And then you could also go down, let's say you just wanted very basic, very surface level nervous system. We have like the sciatic, the femoral, and it just all groups them closer together. And you can do the same thing with pretty much any system, as well as having like a concentration slider for different systems. Like this is the arteries and the veins, and then nerves.
Yeah, nice.
A lot
Very
of stuff
nice.
hiding underneath our skin.
Yeah,
under
a lot,
Amazing.
a lot. Yeah.
Well, as long as we approve it, I guess we'll wish you guys really good luck on your
Please do, they worked hard, they worked hard.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Good presentation.
Yep,
Yeah, you can just leave it.
yeah.
Yeah, good luck. And feel free to leave if you're rest of the
Wow,
meeting
that's-
will be like.
Incredible there. I mean, that's just, I could just spend some time with something like that every day. Just kind of go through, just kind of know where things are in your body.
There's several disciplines.
All right,
Yeah.
back on.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Feel like we should be skipping out-of-state travel while we're still impressed, but we'll go to 4.2. Request approval of the revised 26-27 school calendar. Mike, you're back up.
That's me again, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tis the season for committees.
Yes.
The other committee I mentioned briefly in my report last month was our open house and tour committee. And one of the things we're looking at for our student tours is doing a full day where we essentially open the campus and have 4 to 6 different sessions where your schools can come in and rotate through 5 different classes on a bell schedule to learn about our programs. So after surveying staff, we decided that the best day to do that would be Friday, November 13th. So we're requesting that that day become an e-learning day for students at Central 9 so that we can invite your students into the classrooms and learn about our programs. Now, some of our Central 9 students would still be a part of that, our ambassadors and our lab techs. We'd ask that they're here to work with the kids that come in and explain some things about the program.
All right, any questions for Mike? All right, do we have a motion to approve the revisions to the calendar to accommodate the open house?
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
A second, the motion.
All those opposed signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign?
Could you
Oh,
repeat
wait,
that?
sorry. I'm going fast because I know somebody has to get out. All those opposed signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, there you go, you
That's
have a new
all right.
calendar
Thank you.
for revision. All right, now I think we
Yeah.
have some out-of-state travel.
We do. So the first one was the group that you just saw. They made it to the National Anatomosh competition in San Jose, California. Steve Owen, one of our automotive technology instructors, in order to maintain his ability to be ASE certified, he has to go for trainings every so often, and so does Andres Tucker. So he's looking to do a training in Dayton, Ohio this summer. There's a brand new career center in Kalamazoo, Michigan, that another director in Indiana has kind of put together a visit in June, so school will be out. I'd like to see what they've done, how they've done it, and what kind of innovative design and programs that they have. So I'm asking for permission to go out of state and overnight. And then we have, I thought it was 4 instructors and 9 students to attend Skills USA Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia, June 1st through June 5th. And that is out of state and overnight also.
Just a question, so on that particular one, out of the several, I guess, programs going to Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah.
there is no lodging costs, so.
The lodging is embedded in the registration.
Oh, okay.
Indiana has a hotel that everyone from Indiana stays at. We don't have a choice, so
Okay.
they just embed the registration. The hotel stay in the registration is basically, I think, 6 full nights. So that's why
Okay.
the registration is expensive.
Okay, and the other thing, for Steve Owen, he didn't put anything for travel, so he's gonna pay for that out of pocket, not get reimbursed for mileage?
I don't believe so. Mike, he wasn't gonna claim mileage, was he?
He said no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we offered it, but he did not, and maybe the training is offering something for him
Okay.
to get reimbursed, I don't know, but we're paying for the hotel for 2 nights.
Alrighty.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion to approve the travel.
I'll make said motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. motion passes.
So, the 4.4, Cindy Payton has been nominated and accepted to be awarded Administrator of the Year for our Indiana Directors Association.
Woo woo.
Yeah, so it's a really big honor. It's exciting. And I'm requesting that we allow her to travel and stay overnight. And then I'm also asking to have Laura Showalter be able to come along with her. And then it's a luncheon award, so they would be getting there the day before, stay overnight, and then stay for the lunch and then drive home. So I'm asking for approval to let them do that.
All right, any questions? All right, can I have a motion to approve the overnight travel?
I'll make the motion we approve.
All right, second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations, and motion approved.
And then, last week, we had our student recognition, which was really nice. Obviously, it's nice to be able to use our commons like we intended. Many students received awards and then also scholarships. Right now, because a lot of schools will be starting their departure, we are administering our finals this week. And we start, I think, seeing Greenwood seniors. I think they're done after this week, and then it just goes from there. And then we have a summer camp for incoming 8th and 9th graders, the 9th through the 12th of June, half-day camp for about 5 or 6 different programs. We have about 60 students signed up right now. So it's just something we do each year. It plants seeds, allows kids to have experiences, and they get to do things that are hands-on, and they have take-home things that they build or they work with, and then they get to take it home. So it's really cool, and I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that.
So those things, those camps lean towards building?
Yes, well, they lean toward any of our programs, and we have different teachers from here who run the camp. And then depending on the program, so obviously if it's culinary, they're going to be cooking and baking. If it's like auto service, they actually have a small engine model that they build from scratch. And then it will work after you build it, if you do it correctly. And then I think in like auto collision, they do a lot of sanding. Then they take like a miniature quarter panel home after they've sanded it and maybe even painted it, so.
I got a bad back bumper, I could bring
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure you do. So, they're just ways to get the kids in here to see what we offer, and then hopefully it plants a seed, so when they're scheduling for the future, they want to come back.
Ever any problem filming the camps?
Not recently. We had it going, then it kind of stopped at COVID, and then we kind of got it back, and we've had a good, I think the network of moms have found out that this is a good program, so.
Get your soccer moms on it.
Yes, so,
As we say.
once you hear about it, then they want to do it, so.
Is there a cost for that?
Yes, it's, I want to say $50.
55 for most programs.
Okay.
I think EMT and fire are a bit more expensive.
It's still compared to
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
And then there's a showcase at the very end that we have parents come for and they get to see, so. And then, I did share, are you okay with 5.1?
Yeah.
Okay, so last week in my notes, I shared, we call it our one-sheeter. It's basically our proposed operating budget, the education, the operations side. I presented this to superintendents the week before, so they would be able to see my proposal. The message I received is if you can keep it, close to 1%, don't hit 2%, it'd be acceptable. So we're proposing a 1.35% increase, which is about $92,000 from last year. Cindy Payton worked very hard to keep it as close to flat line as possible. And I feel pretty comfortable presenting it to you. Usually in May, we would do this as a first reading. I don't predict we'll make any changes, so it's up to you if you wanted to look to approve it, or we can make it a first reading and then look to approve it in June. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Do you have a typical amount that we are under or over budget per year? Like, is there a, or we intend to spend everything?
We usually intend to spend everything.
Okay.
So, so right now, we're at that stage where we're ending the budget year, and so if there are things that we can take care of, like supplies and items for next year, we try to take care of that now to help us. We have teachers will sign up for their capital projects, which is basically any kind of software, material supplies, possibly equipment that they would need for next year, and then we help make sure that they have those items for next year.
Okay.
And it's basically running a zero budget each year.
Do we know, electrical, gas, electricity, how it's running this year and what we budgeted for next year? Because that's the wild card for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to predict, but I have raised both of those.
Yeah, do you know, like, did you do it like 5%, 10%? What are you thinking?
It was hard because to try and stay in that around the
Yeah.
1%, and not over 2, so just an example, I've got.
And do we know even what the additional welding has raised it? Do we have,
It's hard right now to tell you because we've got one unit that we're still
Yeah.
having troubles with out there.
Okay.
Carrier unit, so
Mhm.
I can't get a good read
Yeah.
on that. John and I've talked about it.
your crystal ball's not really working for you?
Not at that point, so, in the budget for next year, the water and sewer, I raised it about $10,000. So this
Yeah,
is out of
quite
the
a
total
bit.
raise. Trash removal, we had an increase in our trash pickup, so I bumped it up about 8,000. Gas about 10,000 and 15,000 in electric.
So quite a bit,
So
I mean,
the majority of in the operating budget, the
Mhm.
majority that it went up was to cover utilities.
yeah.
And have we had like an evaluation to make sure that everything, like an efficiency evaluation?
It's funny you asked that, we're just in the process. Duke Energy has contacted John Showalter and set up, he reached back out to him, so there's a committee right now looking at that and meeting with representatives from the company.
Yeah,
You never know.
right. We're working through that process right now to help us. So by next school year, we start new practices or habits, let's say. Turning lights off, turning the computers off at night, those kinds of things. Just trying to do everything we can to help save energy.
I assume, because I know when C9 started, we don't have the switches that, no motion in the room, the light will go off. We don't have any of those
In
installed.
some places, yes, we do have that, but a lot of places, no. But it's kind of hit or,
Put those
yeah,
in.
it's hit or miss, yeah.
You gotta wait.
But like this room, these overhead lights do not have that. You flip the switch on or off.
Well, I know for me, even though I don't have an issue with the budget, just out of courtesy, I would probably like to wait just to touch base with my superintendent, CFO, just to say,
Sure.
hey, we're gonna approve it, do you have an issue, do you have any questions? Just out of courtesy to them. But I don't know how other people feel, if they really wanna approve it this month, I mean, I'm not opposed, it's just a courtesy thing. I don't know if we wanna, if people have a preference on approving it tonight or tabling it till next month.
And I'm in a quandary. I've got one going out, one coming school's not part of C9, where she's at, so I probably should pass that by them.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
You have a new superintendent coming.
yeah, as of
Wait.
July 1.
All right.
is the totals was- they
Well,
were
plus
working
two,
on
we've got
it.
two members
Yeah,
not present.
yeah, so why don't we go ahead and table it till
Sure.
next month?
Well, it is on here as a first reading, so.
Okay,
Do you want to
Yeah,
count it as the
okay.
first reading this time, or are we just starting first reading next month?
so it's
well,
a
we
first
would-
reading right now, and
First
then
reading.
we'll approve it next
Yeah.
month
All right.
then.
I would
Okay.
think that if you approved it tonight anyway, you have to suspend the rules and make a motion to approve on the,
I don't even know that, is it really a rule that we had to read it twice? Or did you just put, because you just said we could go ahead and approve,
I left it, I was leaving it up to you how you
okay.
wanted to handle it.
so we're keeping it as a first reading.
I have confidence the superintendent support this budget, so.
Okay.
But letting it go until June is totally acceptable.
Okay, yeah, because it wasn't on the action
I
item,
appreciate it,
so,
we'll bring it back as action.
perfect, yep,
Because I need it in place by July.
we'll
Yes,
approve it.
perfect.
Expenses and the
which is what we
closest
typically do.
Yes.
Keep it
Only
at the
thing-
last minute,
That runs close is the insurance renewal.
okay,
We'll bring you that next month also, but it renews on June 14th.
okay,
So it's right. the time
right
that
then,
board
so everybody better be here. Okay,
So,
sounds good.
how am I gonna get this to her is what I'm trying to figure out. Is this sent to our school?
I have her email where she is right now,
Yeah.
and can send it to her that way.
If you would,
Yeah.
and I'll send her a text
Is-
and say, this is coming to you.
In July, she wanted to come here and visit and take a tour, so, I've already been connected with her, so I can do that.
Okay. And then we have upcoming dates and events.
Yeah, of course, you know about Memorial Day, our last student day is May 28th, but we will lose students before that, based on each individual school's schedule. And then May 29th is a half day for teacher records.
Okay.
And then June 11th is our next board meeting.
You're up again, Mike.
Okay.
You're like the star of the show,
I
it
guess
seems
so.
like today.
Staffing, we are fully staffed again, which is
Woohoo.
great. Our new diesel instructor.
yeah, that was a good, quick
I
find.
know.
Really.
And
Man,
we're really excited to have him.
Like that.
I think he's gonna do really good.
That's
And
a
he's taller
critical
than me,
program,
which I'm
right?
not used to.
Yeah, he really is.
We have, thank you for approving, November 13th, the open house and tour committee met to begin discussions of that new tour format. Evaluation committee, thanks for approving that as well. Now that it is approved, several of our professional learning sessions as we enter next school year will focus on the new tool itself and a lot of the elements within, so we can work with teachers and on their professional growth plans. Student services updates, resume workshops, continued happening. Continuing working with partner schools to work through final schedules and the remaining slots for the year. And then last month, end of April, we had our college and career day, which was a huge success. Evaluation is wrapping next week with Mr. Freda and I having summative evaluation conferences.
All right. Any questions for Mike? All right.
Thank you.
You are up.
So I ask for your approval on our personnel report. So Misty is a college student coming home for the summer, and I'm hoping to put her in our fast track class to help, I think I talked about this last month, of getting some of our students through.
To fast
Yeah,
track
the
some
fast track
students.
people. Get them through and get them out before the end of June.
Get those metrics up.
She's studying to be a teacher too, so.
All
works
right.
well.
Do you have a motion for the acceptance of the personnel report?
I'll make said motion.
The second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you. Next up is the board summary report that Paul puts together, that's been putting together the past couple updates from March, through March, I guess you should say. But that's our state funding, and then if you scroll down a little bit further, we started spending some federal dollars. Finally, we were approved to do that. So we have a long ways to go on federal, obviously. We'll do our best to spend as much as we can. And then if you scroll on down, it's the old adult ed grants. And next month, we will ask for approval to move one from the local other funds, the 1710 fund, to pay down something. I think all plans on paying down or paying off something and then starting to pay off another thing, another item.
Yep.
That's it on that. I don't know if we're in a hurry. I thought someone was in a
Oh,
hurry, so
that's
I'm
all right.
just-
You're just leaving, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
We
And then
still have a
here's our-
quorum. We still have a quorum, so you're good.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, nope, you're
Um,
good.
Here's our monthly board chart with our enrollment in it. Obviously, the ELL, the middle section is super low. HSE, it's a little lower than last year, but not too bad. It is what it is, that's where we're at. We did finish up our last orientation last week. They don't have their hours in yet, so they're not showing up yet. So we will grow a little bit more, but not a lot.
And you said ELL is down for everybody, right?
It
And they're
is.
really not,
They're not, because now they have to
Totally
have all the
monitoring.
paperwork, their
Yeah.
online verification forms in order to go to any adult ed program.
So you're at the mercy of another governmental agency
Mm-hmm.
getting stuff done.
Getting their paperwork so that they can go to school. Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. I don't see that changing, so I think we're with that.
yeah, but we're not being penalized, right? Or-
No, everybody has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but because our numbers are so low.
Well, if you look like
It's
our.
not affecting grant money.
Yeah, it's not affecting
Well,
grant money that much,
Time
or
will
no?
tell on that. Obviously, if everybody in the whole state is down, then we'll all get the same.
Penalty, or whatever. I mean, it'll still,
The
we'll still get the
money's moved
Yes.
same piece of the pie
Yeah,
or whatever, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I can't see our English language learners growing tremendously next year.
No,
It's not
no.
happening.
Is there more competition for them?
No.
around the area?
No one can serve them with the funding, and no adult ed provider can serve them unless they can come up with the I-9 forms. So if you don't have the right documents, you can't attend a school, an adult ed.
How many options do these people have to get the I-9 form? Do they have to go downtown?
That's a good question.
I just wonder,
I do not know.
do they have enough areas to go?
Well, I think if they're not here legally, they're not gonna get the
They're not
paperwork.
gonna get that.
And before, we didn't ask anyone. We just took anyone who walked in the door.
Not now.
Not now. I think that's it. Maybe.
Your
Oh,
success story.
Our success story. I like this.
I really like that you're doing the success stories.
Thanks. We had, yeah.
It's really
We had
nice.
been doing them, we just never shared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, when you get them, if you can just tell them as they're giving them how important they are to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, you're the only public here.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Board member comments?
I had a question, how, and maybe I missed this, how did the plant sale go?
It went really well. By the time I showed up at about 10:30, over half of their plants were sold, gone. I think what they didn't sell much of were tomato plants. So they've been kind of giving those away to staff. But the flowers, the hanging plants, all that stuff sold very well.
Oh, awesome.
Food truck fight was really.
Yeah, so we had the food truck fight a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Linda was here for that. It was a lot of fun. Never did that before, but they sold 100 tickets, and the kids represented their own made-up food truck and then some sort of dish that they would serve out of that food truck, and everyone got to try it out, test it out, and vote.
And
so
some of them, when they presented what they had, they were so passionate about it.
they were.
Yeah, that was really nice to see.
I'm
So
sorry,
was
couldn't
that
make it.
totally a culinary thing?
Total culinary thing in the Commons 2 nights ago, went very well. I'm sure it'll go again, very good, because these are the second-year students at the end of their second year. They should know what they're doing, and they did
Yeah.
prove that very well. And our car show happened Saturday also. It went very well. It's bigger than we've had in the last couple of years. So
What area does that connect to?
auto service and diesel and auto collision. But the kids come with their proposal. Here's what we want to do. Here's how we want to do it. And they bring that to Mike or me, and we have to either, question them or it's basically a project proposal that they organize, they plan, and implement.
Awesome. All right, any other comments, questions? All right, if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thanks, everyone.